Hi, Captain Steve for Ocean Life Network, and today I am on a spectacular new boat from Aquila, the 47 Molokai. Jean Ross and his design team have been with Aquila for many years, but this is the first boat that Jean has tackled from start to finish. And frankly, I can see his DNA all through this boat, and it really brings up the level of class and style. Let's start by looking at some of these elevated class features, and we'll begin right here in the cockpit with these aft-facing seats, upgraded upholstery, diamond stitching, ultra leather on the upholstery. Look at the supports for the hardtop. This is all integrated carbon fiber that is adding so much structural integrity to this hardtop, it can even support a tower. Continuing forward, 7 forward-facing seats. Standard will be STID seats. These are upgraded release marine seats. Beautiful fit and finish on them. They slide fore and aft. They all include flip bolsters and flip armrests. There's upgraded wood trim at the helm. Fully forward, 3 across lounge seats have added comfort by being contoured underneath your knees. Again, we've got the upgraded upholstery, ultra leather, flip armrests. The center armrests have integrated beverage holders. These seats come out 45 inches. To the side, there are paddle latches, giving you access to storage. Notice that every time I lift a hatch, it's supported by a support strut. They're all finished underneath, gasketed, and there are channels directing the water away from the interior of the hatch. This one has 2 spaces for 5-gallon buckets. If we remove the bow cushion, then we expose a hatch leading deep down into the hull, so that's huge storage there. With both of the pads removed, we've got an elevated casting platform 9 inches off of the main deck. And it's not lost on me that we have padded bolsters running 360 degrees around the boat. This is just the start of the luxury treatments going on around this boat. Let's get into our full features inspection, and I'll show you the rest of them. 22-inch average side deck clearance. Padded bolsters start at 27 inches, come up to 33 inches, rails top out at 36, and the cap rail tops out at 38 inches. To both sides, there are fish boxes. These are insulated and macerated. This one, 165 gallons. The one just behind, 90 gallons, again repeated to the opposite side. This one is also 7.5 feet from front to rear, so we can use this for storing our rods. The latches are all lockable. In the cockpit deck, there are more storage boxes, 50 gallons each. Both of these have been upgraded to live wells. As for the cockpit itself, I mean, this is just loaded with features. First of all, it's a catamaran, so how spacious can we get? 12 feet 8 inches by 5 feet 8 inches fore and aft. There's an optional leaning post in the center with rod holders, beverage holders, recessed storage area, aft-facing seats, 4 across. Underneath the seats are insulated storage compartments. Take a look at this. Seat back pulls down to reveal tackle storage. And this one becomes a cutting surface. For keeping it clean, we have both a raw water washdown and a fresh water washdown, so we can just hose this whole area off. The seats are designed so that any water can go down onto the seat. The upholstery is quick clean, and it all just goes right onto the deck because next to the seat we have channels leading the water right out. Just above, 16-inch display, Fusion stereo speakers to both sides, spreader lights, LED lights, rocket launchers across the top. These seem a little bit high to me. I would like to see these mounted underneath the hardtop so they're a little easier to reach. 2 more rocket launchers come down the supports on each side and also serve as grab rails. Notice how the supports for the hardtop have integrated steps. These will be either for getting to the top of the hardtop for servicing the electronics or for getting to an optional tower. Not only do we have spreader lights to the bow and stern, but to the sides as well. Optional outriggers are available. To both port and starboard are tuna doors. They open inward provide an opening 25 inches and it's 23 inches off the surface of the water, so it also makes an excellent boarding gate. In the center of the transom, there's another gate. This one opens a little bit to the inside. I'd like to see a stop right here to keep that from happening so we don't damage the hinge. It's held in the open position by a magnetic catch, gives us an opening 27 inches, and that leads us to the swim platform, which is 6 feet 3 inches long. What a place to get in and out of the water, and to make it easy to get in and out of the water. In true Aquila fashion, look at the size of this ladder. And then it's in the stowed position. We have access to open up this hatch so we can just hose everything down. To each side of the boarding gate, there is a 42.5-gallon live well. It's pressurized, and there is also storage just to the outside that can be swapped out for tuna tubes. 54-inch transom bench seats flip out from the transom to each side. This makes a total of 17 proper seats on this boat. Rod holders in the cap rails going across the transom on both sides of the bow seat. 32 total, not including in the leaning post and the rocket launchers that we already talked about. To both sides, there are outlets for the powered reels, 2 in the cockpit and then 2 more up in the bow. Moving forward to the starboard side deck, there's a refrigerated drawer and a trash receptacle. To the port side, tackle storage and another trash receptacle. That brings us to 2 rows of forward-facing seats by Release Marine. The aft seats are on an elevated platform 4 inches above the forward seats. Notice the air conditioning vents. That's connected to the 17,000 BTU air conditioning for the main deck. That vents here and at the helm. The 47 Molokai was designed with the center-mounted helm position, and the navigator's position is just off to the port-hand side. That leaves us plenty of room on the starboard side for a convenient cabin access. Let's take a look. Well, this is actually a really nice cabin. Headroom, 6 feet 8 inches, which leaves us 3 feet 4 inches over the berth that measures 80 by 54 inches. At the foot of the berth, there's a 24-inch flat screen TV. Air conditioning vents are all connected to a 17,000 BTU system for the cabin only. This isn't connected to the 17,000 BTUs for the main deck area. To both sides of the berth, there's a storage locker, storage drawers. There's a step here making it easier to get into the berth. And notice there's a bit of a night table with a fiddle going around it and an inductive charger. At the overhead, there are skylights, 2 opening hatches forward. All of these can be closed off with either a sunshade or a blackout shade. Same goes for the windows to the side. When you're lying in the berth, you'll have a clear view out these windows, out the hull side windows to the water side. Now you may have noticed that we're not able to get from the starboard side over to the port side unless we climb over the berth. Well, there's a reason for that. You have to remember, we're on a catamaran. There are hulls to both sides and the berth is mounted on top of the tunnel. So we can't really have a walkway going across, but there is another way to get over to that side. And this brings us over to this side of the berth and the cabin. Now the advantage to this is that there's a head right over here that can serve as a day head. Curtain right here can close off this whole area, so if you still have people in the berth that want a little privacy while someone needs to use the head, that gives you your privacy. Certainly we've got a lot of comfort features on this boat and luxury features. There's also a lot of premium treatments going on this boat, all pointing to the fact that the Aquila design team really pulled all the stops on this boat and made it top-notch. And that's my full features inspection of the Aquila 47 Molokai. For Ocean Life Network, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.